Talking politics. Let's talk politics. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Briam. Well, recently I started talking politics. Now, politics has never been my lane. Wisdom is my lane. And there's a lot to be learned in politics, I have to tell you that. Politics is very divisive. You got two sets of people or three sets of people. Everybody has opposing viewpoints, and generally, you're not going to change anyone's mind. One of the things I've learned about politics is that you're not going to change anyone's mind. All you do is bring like minds together, and hopefully for good reason or good purpose. And so I got to thinking about what have I learned since I started talking politics. Wow, I have to tell you, I have learned quite a bit. And it's not about politics, it's about people. On my virtual media social pages, I have a lot of people. And as soon as I started talking politics, I lost 100 people within just a couple hours, 100 friends. Now, I kind of didn't understand it at first. I thought, well, they've all been talking their point of view for the last couple years every day on those news feeds, and I've been reading everything that they put out. But then I decided to put out my opinion. It wasn't anything hard or anything rough. It was just my opinion. Well, I guess that 100 people didn't like it. And I thought, well, why didn't they just say something back like, I don't agree with you or something? But you know what I discovered? Sometimes when there's an element of truth, or it is truth, people don't know how to respond. They can respond to something that's faulty. They can respond to a lie. They can respond to deception. But they have a difficult time responding to truth. And so that's the first thing that I learned. I also learned that there's a lot of nasty people out there. They can be really, really nasty if they don't like your point of view. They don't want to hear your point of view. They just know if they don't like it, they can be nasty. But on the other hand, I was very surprised by people who had polar opposite views of me and yet were so absolutely wonderful and respectful. So I learned two different kinds of people. People who were respectful and kind, even though they had polar opposite viewpoints, and then people who were totally nasty. And, well, I knew that the nasty ones existed, but I was more surprised, I think, by the nice ones, the ones that had different views than me, that remained nice. Because I'm a nice person, and I like to hear other people's points of view. I listen. I may not agree with somebody, but I listen because I learn through listening. I don't learn through talking. Talking opens up the door for listening. And so I make sure I listen because I do learn. And I get more of an understanding by hearing a viewpoint that's different than mine, than the same as mine. Now, I may not totally agree with it, but it gives me an understanding of why someone feels the way that they do. So, will I continue to talk politics? I don't know. It's a new territory for me. And what I try to do is I try to ask questions. Because when I hear the questions, I learn from the answers. When I put out a question and people give me all kinds of answers with opposing viewpoints and everything like that, I can sort through those and I can listen. And I can begin to understand everybody. Even though I may not agree with everybody, I can begin to understand them. When we can communicate, when we can talk, even about things that we don't agree on, often we can come together rather than go apart. And so I sort of started talking about politics as a way to open up dialogue, for people to not be so afraid to talk. I think if we don't step up, if we don't start talking, if we hold back, we may lose our ability to even talk or voice our opinion. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but it could. It could. Just about anything could. And so I think when we start talking, even from opposing viewpoints, as long as we're respectful and we listen, doesn't mean we have to agree, but we listen, often we can begin to understand and maybe, just maybe, even work together. So I think where a lot of problems happen is people get nasty because, well, you don't agree with them and they have a different viewpoint. And you can be nice about it, but they can still be nasty. And that's what I'm often finding, is that I'm nice, but I've got a nasty person over there. So, it really isn't about the politics, and it isn't about the viewpoint. It's really about the person that I've discovered. So yes, politics is very, very new for me to talk about, and very new. It's not my lane. I don't know if I'm going to stay in this lane some of the time or just get right back over there in my wisdom lane. But, I felt led to talk, to open up, to voice my opinion because, well, if everybody else can voice their opinion, why can't I? Why can't I voice my opinion? And I think my opinion, I do it in the right way. I do it thoughtfully. And, so, I think when we can open up the dialogue, when we can open up the conversation, we are so much better off. So yeah, politics. Grandma wasn't one to really talk politics. She had her belief system, and she decided based upon her beliefs. Her beliefs, and so that's pretty much how I do it. I base things upon my beliefs, but I also realize that other people don't believe like me, and other people have a different belief system. And so my question to you is, are your relationships more important than your beliefs, or are your beliefs more important than your relationships? Okay. Talking politics from my house to yours. May God bless you, and I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye.